What's up, chismosos?
I'm Tristan.
And I'm Andrea.
And I'm Max.
And I'm Claudia.
Hey Chismosos, it's me again. We're gonna start off with another segment asking people questions. Enjoy! Worst thing that you've done and you've never told your parents.
I snuck a guy into my house while both my parents were home.
Worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents.
I've almost gotten arrested like 5 times.
What's the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I snuck a man into my house.
What's the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I got pulled over because I had illegal stuff in my car.
What's the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I hid in an abandoned building to hide from cops.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
Okay, so it's technically not like the worst thing in the world, but when I was in college, I was a designated driver and couldn't tell people no. So driving home, I got pulled over, but I had 2 people in the passenger seat, 4 people in the back seat, and 3 people in the trunk. I had to pay like a $500 ticket and go to like court-appointed assertiveness classes, and I never told my parents.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I blacked out at the last party I went to.
Worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
So one time I was playing Fortnite and I got mad and I punched a hole in the wall and I covered it with a poster.
Worst thing that you've done and you've never told your parents?
I wasn't sober and I went skinny dipping with a bunch of people.
What is the worst thing you never told your parents?
I snuck out of my house at 2 in the morning to go to a party in Sonoma during the times of the fires.
What is the worst thing you did that you never told your parents?
Those 5 months that I was talking to that one guy weren't actually talking, we were dating already.
What is the worst thing that you did that you never told your parents?
I said goodnight and I ended up in Petaluma at 3 in the morning eating Denny's.
What is the worst thing that you did that you never told your parents?
Yes, one time I accidentally killed my mother's cat.
What is the worst thing that you did that you never told your parents?
I did the nasty in my parents' room.
What is the worst thing that you did that you never told your parents?
I crashed my sister's car at like 3 in the morning and I didn't tell them. So.
What is the worst thing that you did that you never told your parents?
I shot one of our cows.
What is the worst thing that you did that you never told your parents?
I snuck a boy in and had sex with him in the house.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I snuck out to sleep at a guy's house.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you never told your parents?
I lied to them.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I one time stole money from mom's purse to buy something she would clearly not want me to use.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I skipped school to hit the nasty one time.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
That I stole money from them.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
So, I told my parents I was going to a sleepover, but I was sleeping with someone else, if you know what I mean.
What is the worst thing that you've done that you've never told your parents?
I went out and I was messing around with my cousins and we egged a bunch of houses.
What a crazy week for sports. LeBron takes down Giannis and Kawhi in the same weekend. The battle over the West 8th seed starts to heat up, and then Rudy Gobert gets the coronavirus. If you didn't already know, the NBA has been suspended until an unknown date and is expected to start back up in a month. Rudy Gobert, just hours before the game last night, mocked the coronavirus precautions starting to be implemented in the NBA by touching all the mics in the conference room, and then was tested positive for the virus. Other Utah Jazz players were told to self-quarantine for several days after learning of the star center and former Defensive Player of the Year's illness. All-star Donovan Mitchell has also tested positive with COVID-19. This is just crazy. The NBA is planning on moving the whole season a calendar month back and still playing the 82-game regular season and a complete playoffs. I believe the Pelicans had a real shot at beating the Grizzlies and taking the 8th seed. Currently, the Pelicans are 4 games out of the playoffs. Led by stars Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, this team really does have an incredible future ahead. Another team just trailing Ja Morant's Grizzlies is the Portland Trail Blazers, who have had a very underwhelming season this year. With a top 3 point guard Damian Lillard and a great second option in CJ McCollum, they could easily make a playoff push if Dame Time gets activated. I'm really excited to see these final games of the regular season play out after this ban. The King was having an MVP caliber season in his 17th year in the NBA, led the NBA in assists per game, and was a favorite to win the NBA Finals. But with this uncalled for shutdown, his race to GOAT status is being delayed. I was watching the Lakers-Clippers game last weekend and my ideology on the greatest of all time changed. I am sure now that it is LeBron James. Yes, MJ was a one-of-a-kind player, but watching the way LeBron was taking charges and the defense he was playing in this game was unparalleled. Veterans and solidified great players do not take charges. You don't see Kevin Durant taking charges. The effort that LeBron was putting in the last quarter of the game was insane, putting the whole team on his back offensively and defensively, and solidifying the victory. Until last weekend, I was unsure, but now I know that LeBron is my GOAT, and that is no disrespect to MJ. He will always be the face of the NBA, but LeBron is the greatest player of all time. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure to listen to next week's edition of Max for the Sports Facts.